Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the Black Tiger Miner Crypto News Network. And we're talking about Kaspa. And let me tell you guys, stop listening to Kaspa fudders, right? Stop listening to these guys that are trying to tell you not to get Kaspa. Kaspa's a joke. Uh, Caspa's not going to be around. The Caspa devs are talking too much. They're getting too political. These guys are just trying to get you to get out of Caspa or sell your Caspa so they can buy it cheap and watch it run up, right? You can't trust anybody anymore. But make sure you are continuing to hold and dime in hand because these guys will tell you anything until it starts to run up, and then all of a sudden they're going to start making Caspa videos again. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe and super chat. But as always, don't listen to fudders, right? Don't have these guys tell you one thing and then they start doing something else. Or have these guys tell you something they're not even doing, right? They're telling you something and then they're buying it up cheap. And then they start making videos about it to sell it back to you to start, I guess, spreading FUD. So for you to sell it cheap, they buy it and it starts to run like it's doing now. Then they get you to buy back the same crypto you just sold to them, guys. Just continue to diamond hand and stand strong, right? Diamond hand. Once you get it, you got it. Like Warren Buffett says, be greedy when other people are fearful and be fearful when everyone else is greedy. And don't listen to fudders. Don't listen to people trying to sway you to buy or not to buy, right? A lot of times these guys are just trying to tell you, trying to put my phone in the charger. These guys are trying to tell you one thing and then they're doing something absolutely different, but they're trying to sell you do something the exact opposite so they can make money, right? It's all about making money. At the end of the day, it is a business. So don't get caught up listening to someone who's just trying to profit on you, right? It's unregulated. So people are doing a lot of weird things. So just make sure you stand strong in your convictions and what you're purchasing. If you like it, buy it, right? If it makes sense to you, buy it. Don't sell it because someone's telling you to sell it, or someone's telling you they don't like it, or they don't like the developers, or they're starting fake arguments, or they are finding reasons for you to get out, right? Do your own research, be your own person. Don't listen to somebody else that's just trying to sell you short so they can pick it up and make money off your sales, guys, right? Be strong. Believe in your own convictions and continue to buy it up. So let's go to the spotlight. I don't want to rant and rave too long. I want to start looking at the actual information. And I'm going to do a video. I was going to do it earlier. My monitor went out, then it started working, then it went out again. So I was going to do a video, but it took so much time. I figured let's just go live. So be on the lookout probably tomorrow. Warp Core, the middleware for Kaspa. What is this? It is a cross-border payment solution. We're going to make a video for that. Probably come out tomorrow. So keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for that information coming tomorrow. But don't forget to join the Black Tiger Miner Twitter page for your crypto news network to stay current with your Turbo and Kaspa and XRP and ZBEC and any other cryptos that are worth researching. So ZCN tripping. XCN is up 63.7%. Tao's up 10%. Ondo's up 12. Turbo's up 5.5. Litecoin's up 6. Caspa's up 10.8. Peanuts up 7.1. Virtual's up 19.1. Pudgy Penguin is up 23.1. Fartcoin's up 31.8. Might have been wrong about Fartcoin. I'm big enough to admit might have been wrong on that one. Swarms is up 13.5. Flocka is up 5.8. AIZBT's up 9.2. Um, 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 XRP is up 5.1. MOG is up 18%. Metal is up 11.2. XPX is up 11.5. Mr. Miggles is up 9.8. Render's up 14. AIZ16's up 10. Toshi's up 13.2. Bonk's up 13.7. Spell's up 10.2. Near's up 5.4. Shout out to Near. AIZ16's up 3.5. ArcPay is up 6.8. So let's get to it. Don't forget to like the video. Take a second out and like and share real quick. Looking at the Trader View, 5-minute chart is showing 7 cents. We have a MACD cross and we are building volume on the 5-minute. On the 15-minute chart, MACD across and we were losing volume. On the 1-hour chart, looks like there's some green candles here. And we were building volume and there's a MACD cross. Let's see here on the 4-hour chart. Looks like we've been building volume. A slight pullback. MACD is up. And we're building volume on that 4-hour chart as well. Look at the day chart. Couple of green candles in a day. And we're building volume. Let me change this indicator over to the RSI indicator. It's weird you can't show 2 indicators anymore. So I got to get the license. Been running the free license too long. They want me to sign up. Let me see here. Okay. So we'll zoom in a little bit. RSI is up on the day chart. Got a couple green candles. Looking at the 4-hour chart. Oh, wow. RSI is up, way up in the 70s in a green candle here. So I suspect it's going to continue to push up over the weekend. On the 1-hour chart, we're at the 7 cents. Couple of green candles. RSI is in the 74 range. Based RSI is 72. Kilo RSI is 70 or 68. So it's doing pretty good there. Look at the 15-minute chart. Got a couple of green candles, a pullback, and another green candle. RSI is kind of down on the 15-minute chart. Base RSI is down as well. And we'll look at the 5-minute chart. Got a couple green candles. RSI is coming up on the 5-minute chart. So that is actually pretty interesting. Currently, we're at 1.9 billion market cap. Last hour, it is up 0.9%. Last 24 hours, up 11.6%. 7 days is up 14%. 30 days is up 8%. 90 days is down 35%. And for the year, it's down 47. Definitely room to pull and grow. And if we're looking at the Kaspa FYI, I was just realizing I don't have the crescendo um countdown. See if we can pull that countdown. The crescendo countdown real quick. Thought I had that up. That kind of threw me off there. Crescendo hard fork countdown is 23 days, 20 hours, and 53 minutes away. May 5th, 2024. Remaining blocks 2 million. I had to turn my monitors back on. TPS is 1.8, BPS is 1.7, up 11%. Hash rate's still down. 857 petahash. Next reduction 24 days to 55 blocks per reward. It's going down to the nodes. Not a lot to see there. So look at the addresses real quick. Currently, address count is loading. Address count is 518,398. I think it was 513,000 yesterday. Looks like we picked up 6,000, give or take. Last hour we lost 2 crabs. 24 hours we added 64 crabs. Added 8 octopus in the last hour, 31 in the last 24 hours. Lost 5 fish in the last hour, added 54 in the last 24 hours. Added 3 dolphins in the last hour, added 25 in the last 24 hours, almost 1 an hour. That's pretty cool. No change in the sharks, lost 2 whales in the last 24 hours. No change in the humpback, and still the Aquaman remains. So let's see here, looking at the top addresses. Looks like this Mexi lost 448,000. This questionable address, which is probably Binance, maybe? I don't know. Added 2.1 million in the last 24 hours. 8IO lost 13 million. Uphold lost 3.3 million. BitGet lost 3.3 million. BitBuy lost 600,000. This guy lost 700,000. This guy added 300,000. This guy added 20,000. This guy added 27,000. So I guess that is it. Actually, no. Check out KRC20s real quick. I had to start doing KRC20s lives again the way that they are starting to pump. So Nacho's up 4% to 12 million. PPKAS is up 5% to 6.9 million. Kango's up 8% to 4.6 million. Caspi's down 3% to 2.2 million. Casper, wow, is up 3% to 1.4 million. Goat is up 11% to 1.2 million. Croak is up 8% to 700. I don't know if you guys can even see that. 700,000. Kiki's up 4% to 669,000. Let me see here. Casp BTC is down 5% to 400,000. KREX is down 1% to 300,000. Conan, the top dog, is down 6% to 215,000. Birch down 9% to 213,000. See no other changes there. So let's go over to X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. So this is Ascend EX. Kaspa currency skyrocketed by 134.5 after listing on Ascend. Ascend is dedicated to discovering every 100x gem, unlocking limitless potential of the crypto market. Trade now. When did they list it? That's weird. I don't even know when they listed it. This is Kristen, the admin for what is that? The ambassador program. Kaspa is the highest gainer today in the top 50. Are you getting the picture? I didn't even know that. Kaspa is trending #1 on Coin Market Cap, most bullish sentiment category. What? Totally missed that. How did we miss this? And he's right. It is trending #1. Okay, 90% bullish. Okay. I see out here. Then there's ICP with that one weird guy, but I don't want to knock his hustle. But ICP's on here. H bar, Shib, Ondo, XCN, XRP, Cardano, and Pepe, rounding off the top 10. Kaspa Facts, Kaspa Leak Info. Casplex L2 appears ready, assuming testnet goes as planned. The Kaspa ecosystem continues to grow. I might get fired from Casplex for doing this, but we had an internal meeting, and here's quiet, outstanding updates on L2 and Casplex as a whole. Public testnet is right around the corner. Mainnet, well, how should I put it? Let's say won't take months. Documentation, GitHub, API is ready as well. New website for Casplex, most probably next week. Blockchain Explorer link will be shared before testnet launch. This is called leaking info, building the future of Kaspa. Okay. Casplex, if you like it, I love it. That's actually good information from Caspador. Hope he doesn't get fired. Kaspa Facts, Kaspa #2 wallet, 2.15 cash added in this morning. I believe Kaspa has never left this address, accumulation only so far. And this is Kaspa top, and it is weird, but I do think whatever this is accumulating must be an exchange. And I do agree with him. I do think at some point Kaspa will flip Ethereum. So I don't know. It's probably going to be years down the line, but I do think Kaspa has the tech to be packing where Ethereum is lacking, especially if Ethereum doesn't find a way to get those fees down. It's faster and it's fee less or fee less or less fees than Ethereum, and it's quicker. So it's gonna be a tight race there at some point. Hey Cass fam, my buddy, son of a beach discovered Cass, and it's now deep down the rabbit hole. Please consider giving him a follow so he can keep informed the community. As bull as it gets in short term, parabolic moves begins tomorrow as Cass KDS X son of a beach. So what is he saying? For a second, bro, that's news. What's he talking about? And that's only 7 cents, and we're at 8 cents. So I don't know what he's talking about. Uh, forget tariffs. I'm mining Kaspa. No, that's right. I need to switch my miners over. I've been thinking about doing that. I didn't really kind of think. Is there two things plugged up? But no, it's not. So yeah, I might have to start switching my monitors back over. Kaspa Daily. Kaspa node detected near the White House. In a surprising development, a Kaspa node has been identified operating within the geographical bounds of the White House in Washington, D.C. While it remains unclear whether it's a node or part of an official operation, and proximity to the most secure and influential locations in the world, it's raising eyebrows. Could it be a government affiliated test or a coincidence caused by a IP geolocation quirk or simply nearby enthusiast running a node? So let's see, where is this location? Is that at the White House? Sorry if you can hear that noise. Somebody cutting the yard outside, but I can't really tell what that says actually because it's dark. I don't even know if that is a node at the White House. That's kind of weird. Maybe they are mining in the White House. I don't know. It's been there over a year. What up, EF? It's really close to the White House. Okay. EF, what's up with you? Thanks for joining. Thanks for sharing. Not much residential in that area. Okay, that makes sense. It's a node. Okay, cool, cool. RTK is officially 1 year and 6 months. Rock the Caspa as a thank you to the amazing Caspians who supported us. Have a chance to get a free t-shirt of your choice. Rock the Cas. I live in DC. Okay, I go to DC sometimes for visiting the Chocolate City. Solana, Kaspa, and Sonic drive altcoin surge. Friday is witnessing a surge in crypto market. Bitcoin is around 4% up so far. And some leading altcoins are outperforming. Solana, Kaspa, and Sonic are among the leaders. Love your content, by the way. Thank you. Thanks for your support. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And you could super chat if you really wanted to. But no worries. But thanks for joining and thanks for supporting your main man BTM. More like Latte City now. Ah, Latte, I like it. If you like it, I love it. Blocks update. We wrapped up an electric spaces session. Blocks electricity secured. Reward now building. Machine 25 secure. Big moves ahead. Deep dive in April promo. Don't miss out. Listen back. Stay tuned. I guess that was a space. Kaspa outperforms. Okay, so outperformed Bitcoin and Ethereum. It outperformed Bitcoin, but I think it did not outperform Ethereum in the last 24 hours. This is Christina. My thoughts on the week. One of the most important plays you can have in your portfolio long term. You definitely need to turn those miners back on. Blockchain proof of burn, 3 seconds, 40 TPS. What the heck is coin? Coin versus Kaspa, who cares? Uh, the highly anticipated hard fork is set for I'm tripping. May 5th, bringing a massive upgrades 10 blocks per second and blazing 3,000 transactions per second. That will make Casper the fastest proof of work cryptocurrency in the game. This is song.
Speed so real, no
Yep, definitely not. Blocks move, I groove, Kaspa hype. Shout out to Nacho in the new song and uh the Kaspa awareness team. Listening with my 7-year-old future investor son. He says hello and can't believe you are reading our messages. Tell him shout out, what up? BTM says, what up, 7-year-old son and future investor? Keep listening and start investing early. If you're trying to create generational wealth, you got to invest. Put your money to work, little buddy. Make money your slave. Have money work for you while you're sleeping. That's the only way you're going to get wealthy. Putting in the bank, you're going to make the bank money. You invest your money, you're going to make you money. So thanks for joining. And this is how to stop Bitcoin page 1, Kaspa. Maybe one day you're going to come up with your own cryptocurrency ecosystem and name it BTM. But either way it goes, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and hit us up with a super chat. And do your research, young man. Kaspa Baby Silver. Okay. So this is Kaspa is the end game layer 1. Kaspa, the evolution of blockchain. The blockchain trilemma, decentralized security and scalable. Let's see here. Kaspa crescendo, 90% of the supply has been mined. Okay, that was not a whole lot of information. Altcoin Bonanza, what's up? Where you been, bro? Today, 410, that was yesterday. What can Kaspa currency buy you today at current 7 cents? 1,000 Kaspa, a Nike downshift. 10,000 Kaspa, iPhone 16. 100,000 Kaspa, a 2009 Honda Accord. A million Kaspa, 10 acres of land. What? A million Kaspa can buy you 10 acres of where? But ladies and gentlemen, don't spend your Kaspa yet. Wait for it to accumulate and the price to go up. Just continue to diamond hand right now. I would not recommend you buying it. What is this? Kaspa secretly used Russia and China. Proof unrevealed. What? What is this altcoin? When was this?
Equity
8
trading,
minutes?
I don't know. The Bitcoin takes 10 minutes to finish. You know, we do thousands.
We'll add this to the stack. Well, this is 5 hours ago. We'll add that to the stack, actually. Interesting. Kaspa Silver. So, looks like Grayscale has removed Kaspa from being potential asset to be listed. This might mean two things: that we are preparing to list Kaspa. They are preparing to list Kaspa, or they are completely moving on. I had a buddy reach out to me, and they let me know that they assure that the coins are in the top 50 get listed. Kaspa's always been a contender to stay in that top 50. What up, Pip? What's going on, brother? Where you been? What happened to you this morning with the turbo video? But I'm chilling. I'm just messing with you. I know you were resting or at work, right? It's afternoon there or evening. If you want to apply pressure in this decision, you can always ask why underneath their ex posts, contact them at Grayscale. I might contact them at Grayscale and just start talking to them and ask them if they want to buy a Grayscale t-shirt. At the end of the day, ETFs should not be the end goal for P2P proof of work cryptocurrency. The goal of Kaspa is not to have coins sitting in a wallet for eternity, but instead to be used. What up? Yep, for 8:30 p.m. So this is the list assets currently in the Grayscale product suite. Assets under consideration: Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Stellar, Lumina, XRP, and Zcash. What the freak is Zcash? I guess that was it for Caspa. This is Turbo. Check out the Turbo Toad video from earlier. Let's see if we can close some of this out. Turbo's up 11%. Caspa's up 11%. Close out their crescendo. Move this over here.
Holding Kaspa or looking to get in on this dip or even considering exiting your position.
This is a video from Hustle Fire, trying to figure out what she's talking about from a day ago. This is my main man, Crypto Crew, but we will start with one person watching it. That's weird. How long is this video? That's a live stream. Dang it.
Hello and welcome back to another video on the channel.
Crypto Archie, the most hated in Caspa land. I swear these guys were fudding Caspa, and now they're back making Caspa videos. This is. Wait, is this the same video? Let's just move this video over here. Dang it. Okay. Sorry, I had this organized. Just trying to see if we can reorganize real quick. Okay. Move this up and move this guy up. Is this a live stream? Is this a live stream? Dang it, Crypto Crew, you live streaming now? So we'll put the live stream last. So this is Hustle Fire. Let's see what she has to say real quick.
Then this is the video you need to watch. I'm going to break down the entire Kaspa ecosystem and pick out everything you need to know to help make the decision that's right for you and your portfolio. And if you think this is just another Kaspa shill, it's not. I'll be discussing some major concerns with this project too, so don't skip this one. But before I dive in, just a quick note for all you crypto traders out there. I often get asked about my favorite exchange to use, but the truth is I don't have one. There are too many hacks and downtimes to just rely on a single platform. Even the biggest names out there are facing issues. Remember the Coinbase Solana outage not too long ago? It was a disaster. That's why I use over 10 exchanges, and one of my main go-to platforms is Weeks, which has no KYC or location restrictions. So yes, traders in the USA and Canada don't have to worry about being blocked. They offer some of the lowest fees on trading, and if you sign up with my link down below, you'll receive a 200 USDT bonus and a chance to earn up to 30,000 USDT in rewards. And if you want to get all the latest alpha on projects in the crypto space, then check out the Fire Hustle VIP Discord. I also share my content and portfolio moves in the Discord first before it reaches YouTube and X. So if you're looking for a way to stay ahead of everyone else in this market, then follow the link in the description to learn more about the Discord group. Now hit those like and subscribe buttons and let's dive right in. So whether you're a Kaspa supporter or hater, you can't deny that this is a project that experienced significant growth over the last few years. Aside from the price correction we're seeing right now, for a long time, Kaspa was one of those up-only charts this cycle. And to understand why, we have to talk about what the project really is. Kaspa made a name for itself as a fast and scalable proof-of-work Layer 1 network. And what made Kaspa stand out is its block DAG network structure, which basically allows the formation of multiple blocks of data in parallel compared to just one block at a a time like with traditional blockchains. The result is more data being processed in a given period of time and greater network speeds. So far, the Kaspa network has been operating at a speed of 1 block per second, but the team has been working on an upgrade to bump this up to 10 blocks per second. And after years of development on their testnet, we're finally about to see this in action. We just saw the team announce the release of their Crescendo hard fork node update. So nodes running on the network are required to update to the latest version. This will allow the team to implement all of the major network upgrades they've been working on for the past few years. Now, there are a lot of details to cover when it comes to technical improvements coming to Kaspa, and each of these are categorized as one of 15 KIPs, or Kaspa improvement proposals. But one of the biggest upcoming changes has to do with consensus protocol. So Kaspa uses the Ghost DAG protocol, which is what allows parallel transaction processing to take place. And while the team introduced this years ago as an innovative step for DAG-based networks, they've also been working on an upgraded version called DAGNite. Now, you may have heard of this term before, but it's basically a more efficient protocol for validating transactions on the Kaspa network. It comes with greater security for the network and a boost in scalability. And this is one of the critical components for achieving 10 blocks per second on the mainnet and even greater speeds in the future. Now, this is a pretty big deal if you think about it. Proof of work networks aren't really known for speed and efficiency, but Kaspa is coming in with an impressive block time that can potentially support thousands of transactions per second. This actually puts Kaspa up against some of the top proof of stake networks, which are usually faster than proof of work. And while this is exciting, this isn't really a sure thing yet. Yes, the team has shown progress on the testnet, and they've been updating us on milestones that they've hit on the roadmap. But the true test is when the mainnet is fully activated. Only then will we be able to see how well Kaspa can handle real on-chain traffic at this level. Now, this is when the Kaspa haters might come in and say that the network already failed during the launch of Kasplex, the KRC20 token platform built on Kaspa. It's true. There was network congestion and fees did spike up for a period of time. So the Kasplex platform was basically unusable, and that wasn't a good look on launch day. But one of the core devs addressed this issue and clarified that the Kaspa mainnet itself was functioning properly through it all. Consensus and security on the network remain unchanged. The problem was that Kasplex couldn't keep up with the increased network load, so this was a front-end issue while the back-end network was still fully functional. Even with that said, it's not uncommon for newly launched platforms to face issues. There's a reason this was labeled an open beta launch. But this isn't the only point of criticism for Kaspa. One other major topic is the lack of a layer 2 ecosystem. No smart contracts, no dApps, no other use cases aside from sending and receiving transactions. Basically everything that's required for a completely functional Web3 ecosystem. And without this, there's no chance of competing with the leaders like Ethereum and Solana. But layer 2 functionality is one of the biggest roadmap items for the Kaspa team. I've been talking about the possibility of smart contracts coming to the network since 2023. And while it took a while to see any progress being made here, it's clear that the focus was on increasing network throughput. Now that we're pretty close to seeing Kaspa shift towards 10 blocks per second, I do expect the team to shift more resources onto smart contract development. We've also been seeing the core team discuss the layer 2 landscape for Kaspa and describe the tech they'll be implementing. So this is an area of the Kaspa ecosystem that's been actively worked on in the background. Of course, the reality is we won't know how good their layer 2 ecosystem is before actually seeing it in action. Now, going back to the topic of speed, another argument that comes up is that the 10 blocks per second is a useless stat. Most other crypto networks use transactions per second, or TPS, as a measure of how fast they are. And it's easy to compare different projects using the same metric. Kaspa's core team members don't really talk about TPS and instead are focused on pushing BPS higher, which makes it hard to compare Kaspa to other leading networks. But we can estimate the TPS by doing some math using their technical documents and real-time activity. And I promise I'll keep the math super simple. So Kaspa's block size is understood to be roughly 1 megabyte, which is 1 million bytes of data. And transactions are believed to take up between 200 and 400 bytes of space, which can vary depending on the transaction type. Quick math tells us that each block should be able to fit around 2,500 to 5,000 transactions in theory. At 1 block per second, this would mean 2,500 to 5,000 transactions per second. And that's enough to compete with current market leaders without even considering the bump to 10 BPS. Now, if we look at the real-time data for the Kaspa network, according to Kaspalytics, the average TPS day-to-day for Kaspa is pretty low. It's actually been under 1 transaction per second on most days, and and that implies low activity on the network. Now, we've seen the transaction count spike up a few times, including on the launch date for Casplex. These are the times when Kaspa experienced multiple millions of transactions within 24 hours. And a few of these spikes correlate with a max TPS of over 1,000 transactions recorded in the day, which suggests the network is capable of handling greater speeds. But there are two things to note here. We've only seen high activity periods pop up in small moments. In theory, Kaspa should be able to handle this level of activity ongoing, but there isn't enough volume day to day to test this. And the second thing to consider is that this data is from a third-party source. And as far as I know, this hasn't officially been confirmed by the core team. So even though there are a lot of things to look forward to when it comes to Kaspa, a lot of this is still unknown. Most people like to see things actually manifest before deciding to believe in it, which is also why it's easy for FUD and fear to spread when there's any delay in progress or a negative headline. And we're seeing a reflection of this in the Kaspa price chart, which has been falling down week after week. Yes, most of the market has been on a downtrend since January. So this type of price action shouldn't be too surprising. But clearly, Kaspa felt the impact more than other tokens as it quickly fell down the list of cryptocurrencies if you look at just the market cap. And yes, I'm using weeks to show you the Kaspa price because this is one of the platforms I like buying Kaspa on. Low trading fees, and remember, no KYC or location restrictions, which I'm sure a lot of you like to hear. So sign up with the link in the description and you'll get a 200 USDT bonus to get started. Now let's address the burning question. Is it time to call it quits on Kaspa, or is this a rare buying opportunity? Well, the move you make will depend on two factors: what your risk tolerance is and how much you believe in the project's future. I've been talking about Kaspa since it was under 3 or 4 cents, and it's run all the way up to 20 cents at its peak. So if you got in with me from before, you would have already seen a nice return on your investment. That's if you decide to sell at least some of your position for a profit. And while that was a pretty significant run up, this all happened while Kaspa was still in its early form. What I mean by this is a simple layer 1 network with no smart contracts and no layer 2 features, and of course operating at a speed of 1 block per second. We're finally about to see the big upgrade that the Kaspa team has been working on over the last few years. I've mentioned this several times on my channel, and it's exciting to see that we're just weeks away from seeing their plans come to life. And if everything goes according to plan, we could be looking at one of the most competitive networks for developers to build on. Not to mention, a layer 2 ecosystem is also a gateway to use cases in major sectors, including RWA tokenization and DeFi. By now, we should all be well aware of the potential for projects in these sectors. And Kaspa has the potential to become a leader here with the help of the Kaspa Key initiative. So for me personally, I believe there's a lot to look forward to for this project. And while we're all waiting for the crypto market to bounce to a new level, Kaspa's bounce could be pretty dramatic, especially if the upgrades are a success. Keep an eye on the mainnet activation on May 5th. And that's all, folks. If you're interested in learning more about projects I'm watching closely, then come join me in the Fire Hustle Discord.
So shout out to who is this? Fire Hustle and the Kaspa information. So keeping it moving. This is Mix Crypto. Kaspa's price predictions.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Linux Crypto. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video here on Kaspa. Wanted to do a full update this morning on Kaspa. There's quite a lot to cover, but Kaspa has been relatively strong. I know Kaspa still has an amazing community out there, which I also wanted to make this video for. And outside of that, I mean, it's just good to take a look at Kaspa here and there, even though the markets right now, of course, have not been amazing, and there still is a lot of instability in the markets, which is a very well seen with the recent escalation of China, I think 30 minutes ago or something. But ultimately, there's still opportunity, right? And you can see Kaspa right here is doing great. Wanted to do a full technical update on Kaspa right here. I know they pushed a major update a couple of days back, I think last week or over the weekend or something like that. If you look, I take that into account with my analysis, but this is a video very much focused on the technicals. That is my personal expertise, so that is also what I'll tell you about. But I do take into fundamentals. I do know what's going on, and I do think it matters, and that's also one of the reasons why I did want to cover Kaspa. All right, so the current situation pretty good. We formed a nice bottom right here at 5.8 cents. You can see a lot of volume went into that. And what I like even more, or at least I usually when I see that, I think, all right, well, that's a good sign. What you see is that we also not only defended the bottom with a lot of volume, but no, we also had a lot of volume coming in afterwards. And in general, and this is not only for Kaspa the case, but in general, when you see that for altcoins, that is a very good indication that the bottom is in. And for Kaspa, what we have also seen is that, first of all, the volume is actually relatively stable here. Volume across the board in the markets is actually down. So the volume being stable then compared to other altcoins is good. And you can also see some other high volume candles right here, all right, where there's also no bearish divergence yet, at least not in the volume, maybe with the RSI. No, RSI also not. There's a lot of leverage coming in, so would I enter right here? Definitely not, but this does look good as a continued uptrend. Now, like I said, the main reason why I would not enter right now is that in general, the markets are quite unstable right here, which is not necessarily a reason not to enter trades, because in the end, look, the markets are probably going to be quite unstable for the next 3 months. So if you're not going to be taking trades in that period of time, good luck paying your bills. But we are near a major resistance zone right here, and also a high volume node around 7.5 cents, which is also a psychological level, of course. So there definitely is a possibility for Kaspa that we just blow straight through. But I do not see enough indications right now for me to believe that that's most likely, right? I think it's most likely for Kaspa right here that we are going to respect that resistance level right here, and that we're going to pull back, all right? And that pullback, I think, is the best opportunity for an entry. We still have some major imbalances, unfortunately, here to the downside we made on Wednesday. Do I expect those to get filled? No. Would this be the ideal entry? Yes. If the price drops down into this level right here between, let's say 6.5 and 6.3, I will buy Kaspa. All right, looks great. And maybe I need some bottom confirmation while we're down there, but ultimately that looks like a great level. However, given the strength we've seen so far, and also given the kind of the rhythm of Kaspa right here, it seems more likely that we're going to find support right here in this area between 7.1 and 6.9, and that we will be able to hold that, and then from there go above the 7.5 POC and get into the previous month POC at least at $8, 8.2 or 8 cents, excuse me. $8 is quite high, but 8 cents and 8.2 cents, and from there we'll see again. I'd say something like this is most likely. Would this be something I would buy? So a retest into that level at 7 cents, yes, but with this I definitely do need bottom confirmation with this level down here at 7.4, 7.3. I think limit orders are good enough. But those are my thoughts on Kaspa. Hopefully that helps. If you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments.
That was a quick little Kaspa video and his price predictions. Let me know what you think about that. This is Kaspa Wojak. Let me see what's the difference here. We'll do trying to see which would be what the heck? What's doing in order? Let's do this crypto channel first and then come back.
Hey everyone, and how's it going? Christina here. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another video doing some weekly coverage for you today on Kaspa. You know, the price has been kind of sitting in this 6 cent, 7 cent, even down to like the 5 cent range for quite a while. I think we're going to see this for a little bit longer for this project, but I wanted to do nonetheless a thorough update on the project, as we always do, to see what's going on with the chart this week, see what's happening with the numbers, exchange listings. And, I will kind of update you on where I think it's headed. Not too much has changed in terms of my perspective, but I still like to keep you posted on the weekly happenings for Kaspa and other projects. So, as I always say, without further ado, let's head on over to the chart first. We'll take a look at the numbers, see what's happening there, look at exchange listings, and then we'll take it from there. So let's hop on over. Okay, so we are currently working with the price of almost 7 cents. So it's 0.068. So almost 7 cents here. For the past 24 hours, it's up 10.54%. We have an all-time low here of 0.61, and then we see it spike up to 7 cents and then back down again. So it's kind of in this high 6-cent range, 0.67, 0.68, 0.69, so almost at 7 cents. Moving on into the 7-day view, we're up 9.43%. We have an all-time low of 5 cents and we have an all-time high of 7 cents. So again, it's like what I said, it's hovering in this range of 5 cents to 7 cents. So it's kind of like going up and down 5 cents, then we see it hit 6 cents, then it goes back down to 5, then it goes up to 7, then back down to 6. So it's just kind of hovering in that range. And it has been for quite a while. The 1-month view, it's down 6.98%. We have an all-time low of 5 cents, and we have an all-time high of around 8 cents. And as we can see there, there's a clear, distinct decline for the month. So it's down and in the red for the month, and it's also in the red for the year, down 50.78%. All-time low, 5 cents, all-time high, 20 cents. And then, of course, the all-time high for the entire project is still 20 cents. So, this, when I look at this chart, it's still healthy looking. It's still bullish looking. It's up 36,683.30%. Kaspa is a long-term play, guys. So you're not going to make short-term gains out of this. This is a project that you hold, and you hold through the whole bull cycle and even beyond. Like, yes, I think it's important to kind of take some profits, and that's totally up to you. I know everyone is in different financial situations this bull cycle. So, definitely take some profits if you need to, but I would be holding a somewhat medium to large size bag of Kaspa for the long term, for years from now, because in a year from now, it's going to be really, really pumped. 3 years from now, we could see this go to $20, $30, 5-10 years from now, we could see this spike up to $50, $60. It has the potential to hit like $100 10 years from now. So I'm going to be holding my Kaspa for a very long time. Everything is in a short-term correction right now. That is kind of being reflected in this chart, but it's still looking like a very healthy chart. It does work in a pattern, and I've mentioned this many times, of all-time high correction, all-time high correction. And right now it is going through a correction, and it will continue to go through a correction for at least another month. I don't think until, and I've said this last week and the week before and the week before, that June, July, and August are going to be very important months for Kaspa and meme projects and altcoins. And just for the entire market as a whole, I think the bull market will be back in full swing by that point, by the summer months. And then I think everything is going to pump right into December 2025. And that's when we're going to really see all the pumping potential and a lot of these price predictions come to fruition. And when we look at this down right now, this gets me excited because, one, it's serving as a buying time, a buying opportunity. Two, it's giving us a very long time to continue to buy Kaspa. So be grateful that we have more time to buy this at an incredibly cheap price. And three, the lower it goes, the more it tells me it's going to spike up even more than I thought. Like, I feel like, the more intense the correction here, the bigger the spike it's going to be when it actually does pump. That's just my feeling on it. Also, remember, we have tier 1 exchanges coming. And it already has Kraken. It already has a really great and important listing here, MEXC, which in my opinion is a really important tier tier 3, tier 2 listing. That kind of is the threshold to more tier 1s. So when a project gets a MEXC listing, that tells me there's more to come in terms of exchange listings. We have really strong tier 2, other tier 2 listings, really strong other tier 3 listings. Bybit and BitGet are two really important listings that I'm really thrilled to see in the exchange listing department. So it's racking up tier 2s, tier 3s, and it's starting to trickle into tier 1 exchanges again with that first Kraken listing. We have Binance on the way. We have crypto.com on the way. We have Coinbase, Gemini, Robinhood on the way. So big things are coming for this, and I'm excited for it. So I would continue to buy. Where do I think this is going to go? I give it a range of $3 to $5 price prediction. I'm kind of thinking $3, maybe $4, and I think $5 is kind of more on the bullish end of the spectrum. But it will hit $1 and it will go over $1, and I'm kind of thinking that $3 range, $3 or $4. So we will see what happens, but that is my price prediction for this. Hold your Kaspa, please. I should not be hearing people saying that they're selling their Kaspa. That's irresponsible. So I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just giving you my opinion, but I get very nervous when people say that. So that is what I'm going to say on that. But yes, so this is my weekly update. I will keep you posted on this next week, as I always do. Just if you
So shout out to the crypto channel for her weekly update. Keeping it moving. This is, who is this? Let's see where we at. This is let's see what Archie has to say real quick and come back to Wojak.
Well, today we're going to be talking about Kaspa, and I'm going to be providing my thesis on the project for the next few months. I'm going to be talking about the potential signs that Kaspa has formed a bottom here, and that will probably be going up from this point onwards. I'll be outlining all of that in today's video, so if that sounds interesting, please make sure to leave a like on the video. And if you like Kaspa content, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I've been following Kaspa for a very long time. I made my first video on it back in November 2022. And since then, I have been following the project. So if you are interested in the project, if you want to hear more about it, make sure you're subscribed. And if you want a 24/7 active Discord community, check out the sale on my VIP group linked in the description. There's a massive sale on right now. It's not going to be there forever. All right, so if we take a look at the Kaspa chart, you can see it's formed a nice double bottom here and it's starting to see a bounce. So that is really good. And what's interesting is Kaspa is following Bitcoin quite closely here. Bitcoin just did the exact same thing, made a double bottom, and now it's seen a bounce. But then if we go and look at Ethereum, it's not as obvious, you know? I mean, you could kind of say it did for Ethereum, but Ethereum isn't as strong as Kaspa or Bitcoin right now. And what's interesting is Kaspa has been following the price action of Ethereum pretty closely. I mean, obviously not exact. You're never going to get a direct correlation. But I've been following the Kaspa price, and it detached from Bitcoin a long time ago. And if it's been following any project, it's probably been closer to Ethereum in terms of its price action. And I put out a detailed post in my Discord last night to my VIP members outlining the similarity with the Kaspa and the Ethereum chart. But now it actually seems like it's following Bitcoin a bit more. And it's starting to see a bit of a bounce, a bit of recovery, very clear double bottom there. And the level in which it double bottomed wasn't random either. It double bottomed around 5 cents, which if you know Kaspa well, it's been a very long time support level. Okay, if we pull up the all-time chart, you can see resistance as well, sorry, mainly resistance. So it acted as resistance in 2023 multiple times. We've now kind of flipped that resistance into support and we're seeing a bounce. So very, very nice to see for Kaspa. I would be inclined to believe that there's a good chance the bottom is in here, as long as kind of the tariff stuff doesn't get out of hand even further. Then I would argue this project looks like it's formed a bottom on the chart. Now, Obviously, things can get worse with the macro. We can get a recession and all of that. But quite often, by the time recession is announced, it's already being priced into the market. So as long as nothing crazy happens, as long as nothing ridiculous happens in the news, I would be inclined to believe there is a solid chance Kaspa has bottomed out here. So that is obviously a positive thing. Kaspa and Bitcoin, their structure both looks good. Bitcoin just double bottomed at a really key level as well. It double bottomed around the March highs from 2024 and the Gaussian channel. So Bitcoin looks quite strong. Kaspa also, to me, looks pretty strong. And that's reflected if you go and look at the top gainers in the top 100 today. It's the 8th biggest gainer out of 100 projects. So it's not amazing, right? It's not like it's the top gainer, but it is starting to see a bit of a recovery in respect to the rest of the market. Okay, you look at coins like BNB, they're only up 1%, Cardano 1%, Sui not even 1%, and this is a project I'm very bullish on. You know, Kaspa is outperforming a lot of the market today, and it's due, right? Because it's been a very long time coming of boring price action for CAS. Finally, we're starting to see a bit of a recovery. Now, with that said, one thing I really want to say about Kaspa is you need to be realistic with your targets, guys. I see way too many overly bullish targets out there. People calling for $5 and higher. You need to be realistic about this project. It's its first bull run. It's a new project. They started from the complete bottom. They didn't get everything handed to them. It's going to take time for Kaspa to truly get to the top. It's going to take a long time, just like it did for Bitcoin, just like it did for other projects that were maybe decentralized. You know, they don't get to the top instantly. Look at Dogecoin, right? And I know it's a meme, but Doge took a very long time to get to 80 billion in market cap. People think it just happened all of a sudden, but Dogecoin was around for a very long time. And I'm not trying to compare the tech at all between Doge and Kaspa, but you know, this project was around since 2013, and it got to 80 billion or whatever in the last bull run. So I don't think we can say it's a guarantee for Kaspa to go to 80 billion this bull run. We need to be realistic. You can go and look at some other kind of decentralized projects and how long it took them to really get to the top. It takes time, man. It doesn't just happen instantly. So for that reason, I am kind of optimistic, but I'm also realistic. Okay, I'm not calling for $5 prices for Kaspa. We go and throw the fibs on from the all-time high to this low. The 2.618 is quite often a level where altcoins tend to top out at. That's currently pointing towards just under 50 cents for Kaspa. That would be a potential big profit-taking range for me. Could it go higher? Absolutely. It could go to 60 cents, 70 cents. It's all possible, right? It's all possible. The problem is time isn't really on our side. I don't think we've got another year left of this bull run. I think maybe at best, we've got another 6 months, right? At best, probably even less than that. So we need to be moving pretty quickly if we want to be seeing high prices. Now, don't get me wrong. Even if Kaspa just goes to like 30 cents, my average, it's 4 cents on Kaspa. So 30 cents, it's just less than a 10x. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's profits, right? And you're not going to complain if you're up a nice 8 or 9x or whatever it is. So overall, the project is starting to look better. It's got a lot going for it in terms of catalysts this year, which I haven't even mentioned in this video, but I've mentioned a lot on the channel. Crescendo, hard fork, smart contracts, 10 BPS, listings, all that good stuff. So there's a lot going for Kaspa. And the main thing that's making me really bullish on it is the fundamentals. It's not necessarily the chart, although the chart is finally starting to form some better structure. It's not necessarily the chart that makes me bullish on Kaspa. It's the project itself. I believe the project itself, the fundamentals themselves, will trump the chart, and it will give us a very good pump at some point once people finally realize the quality in this project. Anyway, that wraps it up for my update on Kaspa. It is starting to look a lot better than it was.
So shout out to Archie. And this is, let's see. The Zaki guy, and that'll be it.
We're talking about Kaspa, yes, the rising star in the blockchain space that just scored a new exchange listing and is gearing up for a monumental network upgrade. Before we get started,
I guess we're going with
Thousands and thousands
Bojack.
of trades, split seconds equities. So it may be too late to use for equity trade. It may be okay for end of day settlement stuff. So that's all, just use case by use case. You can go through one by one and say, oh, it'll work here, it may not work there. And but again, you got to kind of write the code or effectively rewrite the code.
Hello everyone, welcome again to the YouTube channel and thank you for watching my videos. In today's video, we are going to be answering one of the biggest questions today. Is Russia and China using Kaspa, or are they going to use Kaspa in the near future? Now stick around until the end of this video to know exactly what are the answers. Now I'll start with this tweet from Donald Trump way back in 2014. In this tweet, he said, "Deals are my art form. Other people paint beautifully or write poetry. I like making deals, preferably big deals. That's how I get my kicks." Now from this tweet, we know exactly that Donald Trump is enjoying his time right now because he's getting a lot of phone calls from different countries, like begging him to lower the tariffs or remove the tariffs. So this is the best time for him. But we have one announcement also. We knew that China was going to retaliate on Trump's tariffs, and we expected that if they retaliate, the US is going to escalate the situation, and this is what is actually happening. We have this announcement, and it says President Trump raises tariffs on China to 125%. Listen, 125%. This is really massive. Now, due to this, I think Russia has been having sanctions from the West, and also China is now experiencing these tariffs. Now they have decided to find a way to make payments, and this way is actually interesting. So according to this tweet from Kobe's letter, he says, Van Eyck confirms that China and Russia are officially settling some energy trades in Bitcoin as a trade war ramps up. Maybe a trade war is what crypto actually needs. Now in this tweet, I think when you look at on the top, you might think that this is mostly best for Bitcoin. Tweet is actually straight meant for the Kaspa ecosystem. When you read this article here, it says that interest is no longer theoretical. China and Russia have reportedly begun settling some energy transactions in Bitcoin and other digital assets. Now listen to this statement. Russia and China have reportedly begun settling some energy transactions in Bitcoin and other digital assets. You know exactly what Kaspa Key stands for. It is the Kaspa Industrial Initiative, and it is one of the main aim is energy trading. That's why they are developing the Gigawatt stablecoin. And when we talk about energy trading, you need to have a really fast network. I don't think that the Bitcoin network is really suitable for big transactions like this, because when you have a very fast network, it really helps in high level algorithmic trading. So these traders that trade energy get real prices at a and they get entries at a very good price. Plus you're going to be transacting huge volumes of money. So you need a very robust network, and Kaspa offers that. So this thing is under development under Kaspa Key, and we have the Gigawatt stablecoin. This is something that we have been talking about in this channel for a long period of time. Now continuing, he says also that Bolivia has announced plans to import electricity using crypto. So this is another nation that is also into the energy sector, using crypto in order to trade energy. And French energy utility EDF is exploring whether it can mine Bitcoin with surplus electricity currently exported to Germany. So these are early signs that Bitcoin is evolving from a speculative asset into a functional monetary tool, particularly in economies looking to bypass the dollar and reduce exposure to the US-led financial systems. Now, when I read this article, when I read this announcement, when I read this tweet, I immediately thought about Kaspa Key, and I had to go back to the website of Kaspa Key and reference, am I hearing this thing right? Because I know if they would want to trade energy, the first thing they should think about is Kaspa, because it is a proof of work just like Bitcoin. Decentralized, censorship resistant, stateless, no pool mines, no VC, fairly launched. You get what you want, you get what you deserve, and I think they need this gigawatt stablecoin. When you read from the Kaspa Key network, there's a lot of projects that Kaspa Key is working on. We have the WAPCO that is going to be for it is an infrastructure or for banking. This is something that is going to take over XRP, and I've already explained it, but I'll cover it in the next episode. And we also have Cas Union, we have Kaspa Mobility Insurance Framework. But one of the most interesting things that I really like is about the Gigawatt coin. And it says Gigawatt coin is designed as a blockchain powered financial instrument backed by renewable energy credits, carbon offsets, and physical energy infrastructure. It aims to facilitate energy trading, investment in clean energy, and carbon negative economic initiatives, transforming the energy finance sector. So this Gigawatt coin is specifically for energy trading. And look at what these people are using. These people are using Bitcoin, and we know exactly this is a fact, and it has been proven over a decade that Bitcoin is good, but it is slow. So if you want high efficiency trading, if you want to get real value, I think the best way to go about is using Kaspa. They are saying that China and Russia has reportedly begun settling some energy transaction in Bitcoin and other digital assets. I think when they say other digital assets, maybe they're saying they are using Bitcoin and Kaspa, or they might only be using Kaspa because Kaspa is proven to be efficient. So
if they are using Kaspa, that would be big, right? And I'm going to do a video about the Warp coin pretty soon. Probably get it out tomorrow. But thanks for joining. About to shut it down. Have a good weekend. Remember, Kaspa, Kaspa, Kaspa. Don't listen to these fudders. Don't listen to these haters. Continue to diamond hand, like she mentioned in an earlier video. The time is not yet for Kaspa. Be patient, guys. Stop listening to these fudders and haters that just want you to sell short so they can pick it up and then turn right back around and sell it to you. Don't forget to join the Black Tiger Miner Twitter page to stay current in cryptocurrency news. And as always, let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. Miner out.